Another thing that I don't know you or Rich talks about, and Dr. Nicole Shrednicki, my physician, she says testosterone levels in men is actually going down. And also what's happening for men is income is going down for men. Mm-hmm. And to me, those are kinds of symbols of power. You know, if you have a high testosterone, you're making a lot of money, that's power. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But a lot of the men I meet, they're lost boys. They don't make much money. They've lost their drive. They're raised by a single mom. You know, they're questioning their sexual identity. I'm going, what the heck's going on? And when I met Kim years and years ago, she said there's only 3 kinds of men in the world. She says bad boys. And every woman wants to tame the bad boy. Mm-hmm. The good guys, nice guys, and wimps. And he says, you marry the good guys, you want to kill the wimp. Now, I think that has changed. But anyway, so let's move on, because hypergamy then is different era. It's tough for men because, as you were saying, or somebody said, women get all the attention and men are confused during, let's say, 18 to 28. Sure. Okay, and then what happens at epiphany?
Okay, the epiphany phase, in actually 2 of my books, the first one and the second one are where I describe what I call, this is me spitballing here, this is my terminology. The epiphany phase happens for women right around the ages of 29 to 31 years old. And sometimes maybe a little earlier. I kind of pegged Tommy Lahren at 28 as being in the epiphany phase. And of course, now she's 29 and getting married. If you look at women like Brittany Renner, if you look at women, I just did a show about this not too long ago, but all of them are Michaela Peterson, 29 years old. If you look at when they get to right about 28, 29, I think what happens, there's sort of a mental trigger or something in the hindbrain of women that realizes that the party's going to be over pretty soon, and they cannot compete at the same level that they used to, like I said, when they were in their early 20s with other women. And they still need to use that agency, that sexual agency, to consolidate on a guy for the long term. Remember what we said about hypergamy, alpha seed and beta need. The beta need side is provisioning, protection, and parental investment. And that's when right around 29 to 31 years old, and we can see this statistically right now because that's the average age of first marriage for women is right around 28, 29 years old. For men, it's about 29 as well. Also, 26, 27, I think, is the average age of first child for women as well in Western societies. Now, it might be different for the UK, but that's when something clicks and they're like, I need to find the guy for the long haul. And that's when you'll see women put out these dating profiles on Tinder or wherever they're at, and they will say, I'm done with the bad boys. I had my fun. No fun for you. I want to get serious now. And if you're not serious, then swipe left, mister, because I'm ready to get serious now. I'm ready to you need to come in, step in here and, saddle up beside me, and then we're going to go on into the future together.
So Rollo,
they're kind of out of the marketplace at that point.
Rollo, so that's when what you call the beta, can they provide this? Are they secure here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what I see happening is so many men
shift.
Well, I meet so many men there, they don't know where they're going. Mm-hmm. They're not making much money.
Yeah,
and their testosterone is going down.
Right.
And I'm watching this whole thing, ever since listening to you and Rich and Gammon and all those guys, I can see it. The reason I talk about it is I never saw it before because I was happily married, fat-ass beta for 35 years. Right. A happily married man.
Mm-hmm. How old was Kim when you first met?
27. I was 37.
Perfect timing. You're right on schedule. Yep.
Right. Can I go one more thing, because these are very important things here, okay? Mm-hmm. What happens, so this is something I've noticed. A lot of times women are gaining this. I've met so many, many of them are single or divorced, whatever. They make like 5 times more than men. Mm-hmm. And they're single and they're attractive. Do you know what I mean? They're like the alpha female. Mm-hmm. And they're the ones, Rollo, they get most pissed off at you.
Yeah, well, of course, because and I get into, you want to know what the most common argument I get into with women is because they are very frustrated that they can't find a guy who is a quote unquote equal for them. But an equal for that woman the guy has to be taller than them, has to have a 6-pack abs, make 6-figure income, be more educated than they are, be able, and still want, love their mom, have a good relationship with their parents, want kids in the future, is good with puppy dogs. That guy is supposed to be her equal, but yet he's supposed to be that much more better than her, but still consider himself as equal. But those guys are very few and far between right now, because as Sarah was saying, we have a generation of the lost boys, right? The guys who don't want to step into that, or don't see any incentive to step into that particular role or prepare themselves for that, because they don't think that the juice is worth the squeeze at this point. And women get very, very frustrated with that, because now they get to 29, 30, 31 years old and they go, where's my guy? Where's the guy who's supposed to be waiting for me? Where's the guy who's supposed to be making partner in the law firm? Where's the guy who's still kind of, dumb enough not to know what the game that he's in, but he's smart enough to have built himself up to the point where he's going to be an acceptable, let's say economically attractive mate for me going forward, now that I've had my fun party years, and I need somebody for the long-term security. And those guys, like I said, are not there, because they're not enrolling in college. They're not getting the jobs. You want to know why they're looking for, the dad they never had online, such as myself or you or Rich Cooper or whoever else. It's because they never had that sort of masculine direction, much less an education. And now women are very frustrated with that, saying, we deserve this. Where I'm entitled to a high value guy. Where is that guy? Well, those guys aren't there because they don't see any reason to be that for the quote unquote alpha female, right? They don't want to do that. And so women get very pissed off at that, because they want to be able to say that I deserve this. I won't settle for anything less.
Right. And that's hypergamy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hypergamy.
Because it's at their level or above.
Right. So Rollo
never seeks its own level. It's always at or above.
I can highly, your book, The Rational Males for Men and Women. But as my friends' wives say, you shouldn't let men read this book.
Yeah. Well,
because men find out, they go, oh my God. And it goes back to what you call SMV, sexual market value.
Yeah. Dr. Warren Farrell actually coined this term. Women tend to be sex objects and men tend to be success objects. Whether that's a potential success or that is a confirmed, here it is right in your face success, is kind of irrelevant at that stage. That's why I say I hate to use the term opportunistic, but I'm still looking for a better one that sounds better. But women tend to approach love from the perspective of opportunism, because women's primary long-term goals throughout life is long-term security. And again, I'm not saying it's bad or it's good. I'm just saying it is what it is. Men tend to be more idealistic when they approach love, and they think love should exist for the sake of love. They want love to exist apart from their burden of performance, which is you've got to perform. You've got to build yourself up. Men must become, women just are. So when women have to build themselves to make themselves more valuable to men, their primary agency tends to be sexual, because that's what men are looking for. As I said before, men and women have different criteria for what their mating strategy makes, the ideal man or the ideal woman. And men tend to look for fertility and beauty. And as such, what that does is it puts that emphasis on women's beauty, sexuality, fertility, reproductive value. Men tend to find women between the ages of, statistically proven, between the ages of 22 and 24 as the most attractive across the board. So you got a man who's 90 years old and you got a kid who's 15 years old. They find that woman at that particular age the most attractive. Women, as I said, are looking for men who are between the ages of 3 to 7 years older than they are. Why is that? Because they tend to have more success. They tend to have, at least it's implied, that they should have more maturity, better judge of character, made partner in a law firm, that have more of what makes them attractive. And therefore, women for long-term partners tend to select for a man that is older than they are, because they look for the opportunity for long-term security. Men are looking for idealism.